Matt, we've heard a lot about sort of the democracies versus autocracies framing here. Obviously, that's been a huge framing for the administration, for the Congress as it's come up. I'm curious, when you look at U.S. engagement across the region, obviously we've seen the last two presidents only go to the region once. Should the administration be prioritizing engagement with democracies over autocracies? How do you sort of square that circle when you look at the strategic picture in the region?
I think the short answer is yes. And if you look at some of the countries that are most problematic from the point of view of the United States, Nicaragua, Cuba, they are anti-American autocracies that are being supported by Russia. And so we do have a piece in the paper about countering these autocracies and supporting opposition movements within those governments. Venezuela, of course, I'd add to that list. And then prioritize is the first pillar of the strategy. And if you look, President Xi of China has made many visits to the region. One of the interesting kind of anecdotal pieces of evidence that came out of the discussions are just how Chinese diplomats' Spanish language skills have improved over the years, to just show how much they're prioritizing the region. And so I think we do need to prioritize it. It's our own backyard, and if we're threatened there, it's going to be much harder to take on Russia and China in Europe and the Indo-Pacific. Another key piece of the strategy that I want to highlight is align. Because I think one of the United States' greatest strengths is its global network of allies and partners. So the United States doesn't have to do this on its own. It can work with Europe, it can work with Japan and Korea. All of those allies do have interests in the region. The European Union developing a new mechanism to compete with BRI to provide infrastructure investments. On messaging the threat posed by Chinese technology dominance in the region, we recommend inviting representatives from the region to participate in the US-EU Trade and Technology Council dialogues so that they can learn from their European counterparts about some of the challenges they see with Huawei. Yes, I think focusing on democracies, countering autocracies is a part of this strategy, while of course having pragmatic engagement with friendly countries that may be teetering between those two categories.